Are you ready to vote? Tune in for this special episode of Feminist News where we go over making a voting plan and what to do if you face voter intimidation. I'm Autumn Breon reporting live from the Feminist News Desk on Planet Esoterica. Here are the headlines from your planet. 134 rape-induced pregnancies occur daily in abortion-banned states. Former President Donald Trump is responsible for eliminating federal abortion protections that paved the way for total bans in 14 states, leaving survivors of sexual assault with few to no options. In the 14 states with full abortion bans that were implemented after the reversal of Roe, an estimated 134 rape-induced pregnancies occur daily in these same 14 states. This figure underscores the devastating impact abortion bans are having on survivors of sexual violence, and it's a direct result of former President Trump's effort to kill Roe v. Wade. The SCOTUS case, U.S. versus Scrimetti, will determine whether states can ban gender-affirming care. The U.S. Supreme Court announced this week that they will hear arguments for U.S. versus Scrimetti on December 4th in a case that could decide the fate of gender-affirming care for thousands of trans people across the country. Trans advocates say that this court decision will set a legal precedent for whether or not it is constitutional for states to legally ban gender-affirming care. While the specific case in U.S. versus Scrimetti concerns trans minors, legal experts say a negative outcome could make it more possible for states to pass gender-affirming care bans for adults and potentially lead to federal restrictions. Since the overturning of Roe v. Wade, voters in 6 states have weighed in on constitutional amendments regarding abortion, and the side favoring access to abortion prevailed in every state. In 4 of these states, California, Michigan, Ohio, and Vermont, measures amending the state constitution to protect the right to abortion were approved by voters. And in the other 2 states, Kentucky and Kansas, measures seeking to curtail the right to abortion failed. 10 states have abortion measures on their ballot seeking to either affirm that the state constitution protects the right to abortion or that nothing in the Constitution confers such a right. This just in, feminists are taking over billboards in the U.S. With Save Art Space and Plan C, they asked what reproductive freedom will look and feel like when they reach a future where care is the standard. From November 1st through 24th, billboards in Arizona and Florida, states with strict abortion bans where abortion is on the ballot, will feature artwork that illustrates a radical reimagining that demands the impossible. Artwork by Ragni Agarwal will be on view in Phoenix, Arizona, and artwork by Holly Ballard Martz will be on view in Miami, Florida. Election Day is almost here, the first Tuesday of November on the Gregorian calendar, when U.S. citizens cast their votes. Throughout the country, voters will choose the president and vice president, 435 seats in the United States House of Representatives, 34 seats in the U.S. Senate, and 13 state and territorial governorships, and numerous other state and local elections and ballot initiatives. Voting is a human right and a civic responsibility. We want you to be as prepared and informed as possible when you go to the polls. So here's some information to keep in mind as you get ready to vote. One question is, can I vote? If you are 18 years old on or before Election Day and a citizen of the United States, you are able to vote. You can learn your specific state's voting guidelines and eligibility at whenweallvote.org. Whether this is your first time voting or not, it's important to make a voting plan. We have a very special guest today, Mini Timmaraju, the president and CEO of Reproductive Freedom for All. Thanks for joining us at Feminist News, Mini. Could you tell us about making a voting plan?
I have my voting location picked out. I know the hours. I'm going to go with my kids. I'm going to cast my ballot, and then I'm going to go get some candy, light some lights, and have some fun.
Wow, y'all are making your voting plans. The Esoterica hotline is lighting up with messages from voters. This message is from Ashley in Georgia. Ashley asks, what are my rights on Election Day? Great question, Ashley. Here are some tips to remember. If the polls close while you're still in line, stay in line. You have the right to vote. If you make a mistake on your ballot, ask for a new one. And if the machines are down at your polling place, ask for a paper ballot. If you run into any problems or have questions on Election Day, call the Election Protection Hotline at 1-866-OUR-VOTE. Here's another question from Edward in Pennsylvania. Edward asks, can I vote if I have difficulty speaking and reading English? Under federal law, voters who have difficulty reading or writing English may receive in-person assistance at the polls from the person of their choice. This person cannot be the voter's employer, an agent of the voter's employer, or an agent or officer of the voters' union. You can bring a family member, a friend, or another person of your choice to assist you at the polls. If you live in a county that's required to provide bilingual voting assistance for a language you speak, you can request oral assistance from a bilingual poll worker and ask for a ballot in that language. Use the Vote Like an Intersectional Feminist Voter Guide for more information on issues on the ballot, your voting rights, and what to do if someone is interfering with your right to vote. On Planet Esoterica, we've made many products that have improved the lives of Earthlings. Everything from the Care Machine to the Factometer 5000. We frequently teach humans to time travel. It's simple to time travel through space and time on our planet, and in fact, I time travel to talk to y'all right now. Like time traveling, most of what's second nature for us is described by humans as divine or even impossible. But did you know that you time travel all the time? Have you ever packed a snack for yourself just in case you're hungry on the train ride home? You cared for your future self. That's time traveling. When you daydream and imagine what you'll do tomorrow, next week, or next year, you imagined your future self. That's time traveling. When you vote, you're time traveling. You're using your individual power to care for yourself and your community's future, especially when voting in state and local elections. You're determining laws and leaders that directly impact people on a day-to-day basis. Local tax dollars, local laws, and local leaders are responsible for your parks, your fire departments, your sanitation workers, and your schools. And most of the leaders that will be senators, governors, and presidents in the future start by running for local positions. Your ballot is your ticket, and the voting booth is the time machine. Tune into the next episode of Feminist News for a sneak peek of what the future might look like. Take care.